Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Santosha, and in this video, I wanted to get real about the detrimental effects of narcissism in the world and how we need to eradicate it from the planet entirely. The only way to do that is bring light to it and start seeing it and talking about it and be consciously aware of how the patterns of narcissism affects your everyday living, including your self-esteem, self-confidence, levels of motivation. In fact, I believe it's affecting everyone on the planet in some way. Some people are being affected by it in a small way, some people in a larger context. Now, why is it around the planet? I've been studying the mind and emotions a lot. I have a degree in counseling and psychology and a master's of education. But more importantly is that I've been observing myself in narcissism, in the narcissistic pattern that is intergenerational. Okay. Now, I recently, a few months ago now, did a podcast on intergenerational trauma. And just by contemplating the topic to prepare for the podcast, I started to become aware of how that pattern affects my own thoughts, emotions, my level of motivation, confidence, self-esteem, self-worth. But what I can see is that it's usually based on intergenerational trauma. And we all have intergenerational trauma. You have intergenerational trauma. Yeah, you think so? I think so, because how many parents, you got two parents, right? In order to be born, you have two parents, four grandparents. You do the math, and in 10 years, you have 1,024 ancestors. One of them has experienced trauma. Why? You can guarantee it, right? I mean, there's been a lot of darkness on the planet. It just makes sense. It's like when I had this light bulb moment going, because intergenerational trauma comes from trauma that one of the generations has experienced. Now, this is in psychology, right? During war times, for instance, they either had to, my grandfather had to hide from the Nazis in Holland. And then there's some people who have experienced war times where their relative was actually fighting in the war, seeing dead bodies on the scene. I've seen this during healing sessions with my clients, that their ancestors have experienced this, okay? In the energy world, we can see this. So we're talking about it from a point of psychology and a point of energy. And it makes total sense when you think about it. Now, let me give you an example before I move on, okay? I'm just thinking. Intergenerational trauma, okay? For example, let's say your grandmother was raped. One of your relatives was raped. Now, back then, and even now, the abuse of women is usually kept in secrecy and hidden. People don't talk about it, okay? I know of men who are mind manipulating women and constantly using them for sex. And the women just go along blindly because they're unaware. And this is the narcissistic pattern as well. But how does that affect the woman's energy? Okay, my grandmother was raped when she was 12 years old. My uncle told me this a few years ago. She carried this with her. What kind of energy comes from this abuse? What kind of thought patterns do you think? Being abused by a man, a woman being abused by a man, manipulated or abused, doesn't matter. It's still abuse. What kind of energies is created inside the woman from the abuse of a man? The thought patterns. Think about the thought patterns in the emotional patterns, right? If you or someone else you know have experienced it, it really shakes you around. For instance, hating men, not trusting, having trust issues towards men, Like in this particular instance, we're just talking as an example that of course it can go the reverse way. I know this. But just think about the patterns behind it. The emotions, the detrimental effects of the emotions that this abuse, manipulation, mind using causes on a woman. Not even the physical, don't even think about the physical abuse, the emotional aspect of it creates an energy vibration. In the physical body, she's unaware of it and she's going to carry it for life. And then as she grows up and has children, her children carry this pattern of mind and emotions, right? And it continues carrying down. It's proven in psychology. It's called intergenerational trauma. And the term is actually used to describe why Indigenous Canadians and Indigenous Australians have issues, right? Come on. When we look at it on a broader perspective, it can describe why everyone's having an issue. We all have intergenerational trauma. If you've got generations, 1,024 relatives in 10 years, you're bound to have some of it, right? So, but what can we do about it? It needs to be eradicated from the planet. In order to raise the energy vibration of the planet and improve our lives, we need to bring awareness to this fact. And this is really, really obvious to me over the past few months. I'm currently staying at a Buddhist monastery, working on my own energetic vibration, and it really hits hard, okay? The level of abuse that people receive, that women receive from men. Now, I'm talking about this in this perspective because it's personal to me, okay? I've seen this in my own patterns in my own life with my friends, and I'm seeing this. There's this sort of hierarchy that men dominate over women. Okay, and that's bringing that masculine energy on in the world and suppressing the feminine, the nurturing energy of the feminine, and it needs to be balanced up. Okay, and we need to eradicate narcissism, whoever is carrying it. I'm talking from two different perspectives here, so please, if you think, wait, what did she just say? Please go and watch the video again, okay? Because I'm talking on a few different layers. Okay, so let's go back to narcissism. We need to get rid of it, okay? So we need to bring awareness to it. First of all, the feeling when a narcissistic person comes to you, you feel less than, not good enough, worthless. Okay, I'm speaking from my own perspective. You start doubting yourself because they're going to tell you lies upon lies upon lies, but they're also going to tell you that they only speak the truth. They're going to tell you this as well. They're going to say you're crazy for thinking this way. You can Google these facts. This is on blogs, on chat channels, on YouTube, everywhere. You can see these patterns of narcissism. When I became aware of it a few years ago, maybe 6 years ago, I started going, that's the same pattern from all these guys, not all the guys in my life, but these narcissistic guys in my life had the same sentences, including my uncle said what my grandfather said when he had an affair on my grandmother, right? He said it was her fault. That's a narcissistic thing. That's narcissism. We can just put that in a label so we can become more aware of it, all right? But we don't want the label to stick. We don't want to put down, shame, belittle people who are in this narcissistic pattern. We don't want to start abusing them because then that's not raising the energy of vibration on the planet, nor is it healing your life. And it means you're stepping into the narcissistic patterns. The most powerful thing that we can do with this pattern is observe it and not react to it. Right? Now, in Buddhism, I've been through all religions and, lived in India in Tamil Nadu for 2 years and went to all the Hindu temples, and I was born Christian and I've seen everything, okay? Been through a lot. In fact, you can go and purchase my book, Mysteries of a Modern Mystic, because it talks about all the different things I've experienced. Well, not everything. Some things are sacred, but okay. So narcissism. The most powerful thing we can do is observe the pattern but not react. If someone says to you, I don't lie, consider a light bulb moment in your mind that goes off. You go, huh? Someone who's speaking the truth naturally would never say that sentence. Someone who's trying to hide something would say that sentence, right? Absolutely. You can see the pattern. Watch it. The honest people in your life, do they say, I don't lie? No. They'd say, come on, you know me. You know, if you ask them, come on, you know me, right? Okay, that could be, never mind. Okay, so another thing that they would say, it's your fault. They blame you. They put you down for thinking this way. One fellow told me I was mental. Another one said I was crazy. But when you observe it, it was a few years ago, one of the narcs, I even after separation, I still try to maintain a friendship. But 2 years after separation, I saw him again and I challenged his beliefs on something. And he told me, you're mental. Because I could see the pattern, you know what I did? I looked at him. I knew it was just a pattern. And I said, just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I'm mental. And because I did not fall into his trap and feeling the poor me, pity me, that's the cycle, right, of this narcissistic pattern. You feel less than, not good enough, poor me, pity me. Because of what they say, you start questioning yourself and go through the pattern. But because I didn't, and I stood my ground very calmly, he didn't know what to say. He had no words. He just looked at me like, not reacting in the same way to narc patterns stops the cycle of abuse. Honestly, it works. I've seen it a few different times. I've tried it myself. Absolutely brilliant, okay? Now, there's one technique that's really brilliant across the board. And, don't think this is airy-fairy or fluffy. It actually works. I've tried it a few times. Is the loving kindness meditation. It's like it cuts the cords. The energetic cords that's caught between you is only held on by this fueled emotion of, right? I hope you understand that. It's like you want to revenge and you want to fix this, or you want to prove something, but I wish them health and happiness. What happens? It's like it just, and suddenly you're free. You're free of that pattern. Now, once you're free of the pattern, you notice that the pattern is really persistent and it will want to continue. So it's going to sneak up in the background of your mind again, these same habitual thoughts and emotions, and it could trigger you into reacting. If you're not consciously aware, you just automatically react back into the pattern and you engage in that narcissistic pattern again of not being good enough, needing to prove yourself and all this kind of thing, right? But if you do meditation on a regular basis, and I highly recommend it, like every single day, loving kindness meditation, and just sit in this posture like this or like this, 10, 15 minutes every day, and just observe the thoughts, thinking, put them aside, go back to your breath. I just finished a recording a few days ago of a YouTube video that teaches you how to do the Vipassana meditation. This style that I'm currently at for 2 months here. Absolutely amazing. It changes everything. Once you're aware of that, I was consciously aware of my thoughts before, but this has changed everything. Completely different game change for me. So observe the thoughts so that you're not triggered back into that pattern again, right? Just, I'm thinking that negative pattern again. And you just try and catch that thought and go, I'm thinking. I usually try and transform it into something positive, but that's not necessary. Just, I'm thinking that again. Don't react. Just don't react to the pattern. Even if it's from the other person or if it's from the thoughts or emotions that are coming to you, just don't react. And eventually They will not have that hold over you, and you're set free from narcissism. Now, if everyone around the world started doing this practice of increasing their conscious awareness of the narcissistic patterns through meditation and the loving kindness meditation and gratitude, add gratitude, like a gratitude journal, because that increases your, how can I say this, confidence, power, your willpower, okay, being grateful. These types, if everyone around the world was doing that, we would successfully eradicate narcissism from the planet. Healing the Planet from Within, which is the name of my website and the YouTube channel you're on right now, because I'm on a mission to raise the energetic vibration of the entire planet, the whole world, because I'm tired of the struggles and misery that's on the planet. And you know what happens? Because you're watching my video, you're also part of this, right? You're responsible for raising your energetic vibration. Because you're here with me, right? You're at a certain level of conscious awareness to find this video and watch it to this point, that it's now up to you to help me with raising the energetic vibration on the planet. Okay, so these practices that I mentioned, thought awareness, like through meditation, loving kindness, and the gratitude journal, raises your energetic vibration. What happens when we do this? You're doing this, I am doing this, and more people will do this. We'll all start doing this. Those unconscious, manipulative people who are still in narcissism and trying to use and manipulate and control others to do whatever they want to do, all this darkness in the world, their energies are also going to rise up, and they're going to be lifted into conscious awareness. So if we want to see, like I'm getting goosebumps, that is so fun. So if we want to see changes on the planet, healing the planet from within starts with you and me. And that's why I'm here dedicating my life to this practice, so I can also grow my strength and willpower towards raising my own energetic vibration and not letting anything stop me. Nothing. No dark patterns, no narcissistic patterns, nothing intergenerational, nothing. Past life karma is a different story that I would love to share with you. It has an impact on your life as well, but another story again. So this is very valuable. I want to eradicate narcissism from the planet by raising the energetic vibration of everybody. Well, I want to teach 1 million people how to do this. So I'm really excited you stayed with me for the whole video. Thank you so much. Now, because you're still here with me, I want to invite you to my Patreon community. This is just growing now, and I want this to grow very large because I want to connect with everyone on a deep, heart-centered basis through Patreon. My Patreon is, if you don't know Patreon, it's a platform where we can create a community vibration, including, like, I share worksheets and videos from my integrated healing program, so you can learn the different lessons that it will take. Because I've been doing energy healing and healing for a long time, but not like the watered down practice. I even go into science with it. I share all this on my community for those people who are dedicated to healing their lives. And we're also going to be doing Zoom meetings and connecting, but also my supporters will have access to, these trainings, live and Zoom training sessions with me. And I'm really excited. So I would like you to come and join us because you're dedicated to this journey. And please share this video with your friends on social media. Tell them how to watch this video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Come and join me, because look, I can't do this myself. I need everyone's help. Like all those conscious people right now, it's time to raise our energy vibration. And please, I've had quite a few people say, they leave comments that they're binge watching my videos because they finally found my YouTube channel. So please go and binge watch all my videos. But more importantly, can I just say this for a minute? I would like you to make a comment to tell me what video you would like me to make next. Tell me how you've benefited from this video, and let me know how I can help you. If there's any topics you're curious about how to heal your life. If you're stuck in a toxic pattern, for instance, let me know. Let me know what it is. Like, you know, secretly, well, you can't indulge all your sacred or your private information on a YouTube channel, but just say, hey, look, I need help with this. And say it simply in 1 or 2 sentences so that I can get some ideas about how I can help my subscribers, my supporters. So, okay, well, thank you so much for watching the entire video. It's been such an amazing journey to be here with you. Narcissism, I'm sure you agree, if you're watching this video, narcissism needs to be eradicated from the entire planet so that we can see some massive changes. So thank you so much, and many blessings for your journey and for your day.